Welcome back to the Preppy Podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. Today I have a fabulous episode as always. I am chatting with AG. He is the founder of Tipsy Threads, which are fabulous hats that you can personalize. You probably saw me share mine on my Instagram, but he has fabulous hats for golf, for the Masters, for just a beach day. I just love them. Mine, of course, has a butterfly, a cosmo, a horseshoe, even the Preppy Podcast logo on it. So him and his team are truly so talented, and he's just so fun. I know you guys will love this conversation. But before we get into that, I have just 2 tickets left for Camp Preppy Hamptons. As you're listening to this, I will be heading to Camp Preppy Dallas this week, so make sure that you're following along on Instagram to see all of the behind the scenes and details and fun that we're having there. And if you want to come along for the Hamptons, like I said, there are only 2 tickets as of right now, so make sure to get those ASAP. But it's going to be just such a wonderful time. I have loved meeting these women and creating this community and just sharing a love for preppy fashions and hobbies and lifestyle. It's just been so fun and such a great community. Well, without further ado, let's get into this week's episode.
All right. So why don't you first tell everyone who you are, where you live, and what you do?
Hi, my name is Austin Gleason, as a lot of you know me as AG, and I currently live on Lake Martin, Alabama, which is like a 700 shoreline lake. It's 700-mile shoreline lake in Alabama. It's fabulous. The warehouse is about 30 minutes from there, and I hand sewed and designed myself, started sewing them, which we'll get into detail. Hats, beach hats with yarn, a needle, and what was a straw hat now has evolved into our palm hat. But I sell the cutest beach hats out there. Game day hats, cute hats, just all the hats. So I love our more catered towards beach hats, but we might try to move into those snow ski, winter vacation.
Ooh.
But we stay very, very busy with our palm hats right now. So that's who I am.
I love that. And I was telling you offline that I discovered you and your brand through Lindsay from Garland Bags, who's a client of mine, and she's been a guest on this podcast, I think the first year I started, honestly. And I immediately fell in love with what you're doing. So I had to have you on the podcast.
I'm a little cuckoo on Instagram, but I love posting all my funny things. And I adore Lindsay. We actually share showroom space in Atlanta, which is so much fun. We're right next to each other 6 times a year at market, at dinner, 2 nights a week at market. And like we're not only industry besties, but like we're also besties, which just makes it a lot of fun. I've met so many great people through this.
Definitely. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Tell me about growing up. Were you always interested in style or entrepreneurial? What was your childhood like?
So I grew up in Birmingham, Alabama, which is about an hour from Lake Martin. And I was raised by my fabulous mother and father, who are still located in Alabama, and my older sister that was 2 years older than me, Caitlin. And what a lot of people don't guess of me is I was like the athlete. I mean, I could handle the basketball on a basketball court. I could play soccer. I played hockey for 12 years, winning hockey tournaments in Canada, which is so funny because now, like, me, fashion designer, athlete. So I was a big sporty, and I loved sports because I loved a schedule, and that's what I'm realizing as my career is I love a schedule. Categorizing, got to get this done with the designs, but you also have to ship, and you also have to order supplies, and you also have to talk with manufacturers. And I really do think by having such a strict sports schedule growing up has kind of, taught me, 10 to noon, we're going to do this. From noon to 2, we're going to do this. And from 2 to 4, we're going to film with Patricia.
Yes, I love that.
Of a schedule. So I grew up with great parents, older sister No fashion background. However, my mom did work at Parisians for over 20 years. She was a buyer for the cosmetics
Okay.
department
Yeah.
back when Parisians was Parisians. And so that is a little bit of fashion background, but that is
Mhm.
it.
That's so funny. It's interesting because I do find that a few people that I've had on the podcast, they had a sports heavy background. And I do think it instills a lot of like responsibility and self-starting and teamwork, those sorts of skills that
Determination,
later
really.
help. Yes. Yep.
Determination.
And it's
Absolutely.
interesting that you said hockey because I don't like, I live outside of Philadelphia and hockey is big in the Northeast, but I wouldn't say in Alabama. Yeah.
The funniest thing is we used to go play travel tournaments in Canada, and
Yeah.
the Alabama hockey fans, we did a cheer. We would scream, pork chop, greasy, greasy. We beat your team, easy, easy. And all the Northerners and Canadians were like, did y'all come on your tractors? And I'm like, yeah, we did. And we're bringing a trophy home on the back of our tractor. But it was funny. They're like, y'all have hockey in Alabama?
Yeah.
But we really do. And it was the sport that I played from my cousin that I learned it from at a young age. And I just loved it. Loved it.
That is such a cool little fun fact that I did not know. So
I know.
tell
Nobody knows
me,
about me.
yeah. So tell me a little bit about that. When it came time for college, where and what did you end up studying? Did you play sports even in college, I wonder?
So I did not, but
Okay.
my parents growing up in Birmingham, college was coming. I was in high school. I've always wanting to be in the limelight and the social game. So, I'm
Mhm.
at pep rallies in the spring for high school, and I still hadn't even thought about where I'm going in 6 months and going to college. And then my parents were like, all right, Austin, it's kind of time to think about what's next. And I'm like, oh, it is. And I was like, okay, you know what? I am going to go to college. I am going to go to Alabama, make my way to Alabama, 45 minutes down the road. And I asked my parents, I said, what do I major in? I don't really understand. And I'm not a smarty, but they said, you know what? Just do finance or do business or just pick one and roll with it. So I did. I just kind
Okay.
of went on there and signed up for finance, click, check. Alabama's
Wow.
more like a, sign up sheet and a blank check. It's not too hard to get into. And so I was like, well, I'm going to Alabama. I'm going to go have fun. But what I'm going to do is I want to meet
Mm,
everyone. I want
mm,
to have all the friends. I want to be social. And that's what I did. And I'll get into detail later in this conversation. But the
yeah.
reason I am what I think is successful today is because I connect well. I
Mm,
meet everyone. I mean, everyone, people that are different than you, people that are taller than you, different genders. Everyone has a
yep.
story, and it's so important to just meet, and connect.
Yes, networking, I think, in any industry is so important. And it's so great that, at a young age as a college student, you recognize that. I think you can get really far with being a good people person and taking time to get to know people, like it sounds like you're talking about. So then tell me after college, then studying finance, but connecting and networking, sort of what was your first career, or tell me about that journey leaving college.
Oh, I love this question, Patricia. And I'm sorry, this one's going to take a minute. So everyone bear with me. But in high school, I have always been a worker. I have always liked, my parents taught me at a young age that you need to work and what you have is yours. So, pretty much at 16 years old, when my friends were going to Chick fil A, that Chick fil A was coming out of my account. And so I worked for a best friend of mine. Her mom did hand painted, hand sanded, hand drawn picture frames. And at
Oh,
15 years old, I started helping her crafting her picture frames, and she wholesaled them, she retailed them. She had a warehouse right outside of Birmingham that we would all go work at a young age. And we just had so much fun, and I loved it. I've always been a worker. I love to work. And so I did that through high school. And then once I graduated high school, I attended Alabama.
okay.
And, if I want to socialize and go to football games with my friends, I'm still going to work. So I waited tables about anywhere between 30 to 45 hours a week at a pizza restaurant in Tuscaloosa. And I was just working those tables. I would be like, oh my gosh, Patricia, you just came and got a glass of wine last week and had 2 glasses. Why don't you just get a bottle? And people would be like, how is this 19-year-old, 20-year-old kid like upselling things? And I'm like, the bigger the check, the more the tip for me if everyone tips 20 or 25%. And so I was just a hustler, and I would get home from working at the pizza restaurant. My friends are like, you made that in 9 hours? I'm like, oh, I know how to work these tables. And I would go back the next day, and I loved working more than school. I actually graduated with a 2.1. It's a whole thing. But so I worked, and I met a couple waiting tables, and they hired me right out of, so I graduated with COVID. So in March of 2020, COVID comes out. So I am graduating in August of 2020. So we all stay in college. I still work. We're still doing the to-go orders. And I met a couple as soon as the restaurant kind of opened back up that would regularly seat with me. And they owned a clothing store in Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Athens, and Fairhope. So right after COVID, like August 2nd, August 3rd, I think I walked across the stage like August 1st. They called me up out of the blue and was like, do you want to move to Athens and sell clothes? I was like, don't know what that means. Not sure. But absolutely going back on, it's time to go to college. And I'm like, huh? What? I have to do that? So I moved to Athens. I get in my car, head straight to Athens, and I start selling brands for a clothing store. And I'm selling Alexis and Rami Brooke. And I had no idea what fashion was because I went from selling Aloha pizzas to a Alexis gown. You know what I mean? So we have to learn. But where I was so good at it is I know how to connect with the buyer, even if they're at a pizza restaurant or a retail shop or buying a hat. I know how to just make someone feel comfortable, invite them in, bring them to the table, let them come see you, let them try on what they want to try on. Don't push. And I learned that. And so I did that in Athens from August 2020 to May of 2022. And this company wanted me to go to Fairhope to open up their 4th store. I'm sorry, when I went to Athens, they had 3 stores. Now I'm going to go have their 4th store. So I go to the 4th store and we open it up. It's a brand new store. And it went perfect. And that was from May of 2022 to March of 2023. And I just seemed to, I haven't even, I think about it because it's triggering, but I just seemed to fall out of love with what I was doing. I felt like I had creativeness going on up here, but it wasn't going on paper because being in a retail shop is hard because you are, you're at that store from the hours that they're open. And I would just, want to paint this or do that or just spurts of creativity. And I feel like I couldn't do it at this retail store.
Well, because it wasn't yours, right? So you had to listen to someone else's vision.
I was just making sure everything was going on. And when Patricia would come in, I helped you and grabbed your shoe size and did the whole thing. And just, if you wanted to buy it, buy it. If not, not. So I really felt very unhappy with my job, with my job title, with what I was doing. And I was like, I am just, it wasn't that I was, tired of managing the store. It was almost like I felt like, and I'm fumbling my words, but I felt like I wasn't serving a purpose. I always felt like I was serving a purpose. And I just felt like, oh, my purpose is to unlock the door at 10, wait on women, make sure they're good, and then they're done at 5. And I fell out of love with that. And it was, I wasn't the happiest person ever for about 6 months. Kind of went through a little fog. I came home and told my parents Thanksgiving. They said, how's your job? And I totally never had said it to them before. And I said, I'm actually the most miserable person I've ever been in my whole life. And they're like, what? Because y'all are talking to me right now. I am like, woo-hoo! So, not hide it, but I'm just, when people meet me, they're like, oh my God, he's the funnest thing ever.
Yeah.
And so I was just internally just not okay. Well,
Mhm.
this summer, before I went to Turks and Caicos with a friend, and I purchased a palm hand stitched hat from a hotel in Turks and Caicos, and I loved it, Patricia.
Yes.
I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. I am about to go to China.com and Hobby Lobby and start making these. I can do this. I can do this. That's a joke being said, but I did. It is very hard. So in Turks and Caicos, I'm wearing my hat. I'm
Mhm.
literally telling my friends I'm with, I'm like, I am getting home and I'm going to try to start sewing. I'm just going to try, because I bought a hat that was a black feather. And as soon
Okay.
as I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, black feather, Alabama egg, Georgia paw, seashells,
Mm.
palm trees. I'm like, this is endless. Golf. 4th of July, fireworks. I was like, this is everything, because you're taking a blank hat, you're grabbing whatever color the order says or whatever you want to do, and you're
Mhm.
sewing on the hat. You can do a Christmas tree if all you want. And so I was like, this is the coolest hat. I want to start doing these hats.
Yeah.
I have to produce these hats. I want to do these hats. So I get home. That was over the summer.
Okay.
And so I bring the hat. I'm sorry, I'm leaving out a big detail. In
Yeah.
Turks Caicos, on my final day, I was at the spa before we fly out, and I got a call from my mother that her mom, my grandmother, passed away, and she
Oh.
had been sick for a long time. And I always knew that, she was doing the hospice thing, and she was
Yeah.
sick. And so she passed, and you have to fly home and you're upset. It's kind of expected because she was on hospice.
Yeah.
But since I bought the hat in Turks and Caicos and the hat
Mhm.
company is a hat thing, I put a logo on
Yeah.
each item, and the logo is 3 little lines, and
Okay.
I'm gonna come a little closer. I've never talked about this before, but there's
Yeah.
3 little lines on every hat, and
Okay.
the logo from my grandmother, and it stands for what she called me, my little booger. We grew up in Alabama,
Oh.
but I was her little booger. So every single hat that we've ever shipped out of the store has a little bit of representation of her, which is one of my
How
favorite things.
sweet. Yeah, and I wondered about that because I have noticed that it has those little lines on it. So tell me then, so you get home, how do you teach yourself how to sew on hats?
I
Like,
know I'm a rambler, y'all. ADHD. So I get home, I order one hat from a website that I found. It was adjustable strap hat. It was our first hat,
Mhm.
and I did go to Hobby Lobby, which we have a great actual company now. I don't
Yeah.
have to go to Hobby Lobby. We have a company we buy everything from, and I grabbed all this yarn. I didn't know what I was doing. I grabbed needles, and Patricia, I just started just sewing on there. And you think this, we've grown with our needle, with
Yeah.
our practice. This is fabulous. I've got to post some of the first 10 hats. Granted, they're all sold, but we have come a long way with our designs. But as a creator and as just growing up in your career, it truly does take time to grow with your brand, grow with your
Yes.
creativity, see
Mhm.
what works. You don't just produce
A perfect hat at the beginning, right?
no.
Yeah. Yep.
So I taught myself, and
Mhm.
I completely taught myself sewing them and got busy. So one employee led to another, and here we are today.
That is so amazing. So tell me about then, like selling your first couple hats. Like, how did people find you? Was it through Instagram, I assume, because that's primarily where you sell even still to this day, right?
Yeah. So in March of 2023, after got very frustrated with my job and my life,
Mm-hmm.
I finally decided to leave Fairhope, leave selling clothes, and the people I was working for gave me a place to live in a car. So I kind of just had to be like, okay, where am I going to move and where am I going to buy a car? And then I'm going to post these on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
So my parents being so supportive, they said, you know what? You're not coming to our house in Birmingham, but you can go to our house at the lake. So I left Fairhope with $600 in my account in a U-Haul. And I U-Hauled it to Lake Martin, Alabama, to my parents' spare house.
Yep.
And I sat between their couch and their kitchen table sewing my hats. And I sewed 12 different samples. I called a friend to come over and take pictures of me on my phone. And I posted them. I posted them on Instagram and I said, DM me. And one friend, my great friend Adelaide, she buys it for her 4 daughters. My other great friend Lisa, she buys it for her 2 daughters. And it was my friends, and I tell my friends and then my people that shopped with me at this clothing store, the first 200 transactions were so important. It's really what helped us get going.
Yeah.
But I hand sewed the first 200 or 300 hats that first 2 months. Right there out of my parents' house until shipped them right there, sewed them myself, the whole 9 yards, and until I got 1 employee because I was busy, 2 employees, and now we are in a 4,000 square foot warehouse with 6 of us that are sewing. So it's really amazing to watch it evolve, but just putting your head down and working, you do it. You will do it.
And if it's something you're passionate about, right? It sounded like you found that creative passion and outlet, and it makes it easier when you love what you do, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I love what I do. But as far as the Instagram, I'm getting a website for Christmas. It's a Christmas to myself, which I don't know if you posted the date to these, but we're about 2 weeks out to Christmas for all the listeners. But I'm getting a website for Christmas, but the whole reason we did Instagram DM and text me, and we have for 2 years, reflects back on I want to meet and connect. And my goal was just to meet the Southeast, meet Texas. Text me. You're never going to bother me. Text me. Because when you're a small business. I want to network with my buyer. I want my buyer to say, this doesn't fit properly. Do you want to see if you can make it smaller? I want them to help me. And they have. They totally have. The Instagram customers have made our brand because they've told us to add strawberries when I never thought about putting a strawberry on a hat. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that's so smart because I do think a lot of people start their brands and they automatically have a website, but then that takes away a little bit of that personal touch. So I think what you did there,
all about the personal. Like I tell my friends all the time, I was like, if I opened a restaurant, I would be the only server and bartender because I love to just like be there. I have to be there with the customer. I love
it. So tell me a little bit about then the process of sourcing the hats and even, your yarn and thread. Like, did you take up to Google or YouTube, or were you just like networking and asking around?
One answer, but so the hat that we originally sourced, which was an adjustable strap one, I can't find one right now. We found those from a manufacturer in China, and that was really what got the idea and product started. You kind of always have a start, and we sold those so great. And then we sourced on Instagram. Actually, you can find a lot of things on Instagram.
Yeah.
We sourced a lady who I've changed her life. She's changed my life.
Aww.
Who hand makes hats in Michoacan, Mexico.
Okay.
With her family. So they actually hand make our hats and they come plain. But as far as decoration, needle, and art, we are our own factory, which is really cool. So our team of artisans are the ones that, like Patricia, if you wanted Kelly green and light pink, we could do it. These are 2 shades of green, but we would grab Kelly green, which is here.
Yeah.
This is orange. And then we would grab the other color and we can do it. And the hats are so amazing because they're so customizable, and they're also, it's time. I mean, hand sewing, it's all by hand. I brought it to 18 alterations, people that have been sewing clothes for 70 years, and they said a machine is not doing that.
Yes.
So it's really cool, but like this hat, with the design and the double zigzag, is
Mhm.
probably an hour to an hour and a half.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, however, we all have different jobs. Somebody does, Jacko does the zigzag, and Rosa will do the art. Mariella will
Mhm.
help fill it in, and Alicia will do the braid. I love to do the initials. I'm really good. I'll grab the order and do the initials. But yeah, I mean, we are our own factory. So what's cool is when you don't like our shade of powder blue, we
Yep.
can open up a book of Pantones and let's find a shade that works great for both of us,
Oh
which
my
is
gosh.
amazing.
I love that personal touch. So I'm curious, and this might be a hard question because a lot of your stuff is personalized and custom, but what's your best selling hat and what's your favorite?
Best-selling hat and my favorite is the neutral. I am such a neutral with a pop of color. Like,
Yeah.
I've got on navy and white, but I would love if I had on a hot pink purse with this
Yeah.
because I love a all white with a pop. So our best-selling, my favorite, and it is our best-selling, is
Mhm.
anything with the cream and gold detail. And
Oh.
then I am huge about, we do initials on everything. And I am
Mhm.
huge about just doing a little pop of color for initials, making a cute little, because it's such a great neutral. Because I mean,
Yeah.
if I was buying a $228 hat, I would want a neutral that goes with everything. You can
Yeah.
wear it with all your different outfits. And then when they fall in love with it, they call me and they're like, okay, I'm ready for the pink shell or the flag or the game day one. So.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love that. So, tell me a little bit about, because I know, we mentioned that you are in the same showroom as Lindsay. So, the decision to be part of a showroom, to go to market, because that's a big step and an expense, and even shuffling margins to be able to sell wholesale. Like, can you tell me a little bit about that?
Wholesale's tough. So
Yeah.
like I said, I posted it in March of 2023, and I was sewing them on my couch, posting them on Instagram, and the manager of the showroom I'm in now slid up on my Instagram and said, I want to buy one of these for me and one of these for my mom. And I actually am dear best friends with her today. And we kind of knew each other at Alabama, going back onto connections. She swiped up. She said, I want these two hats and I want to call you about wholesale.
Oh.
And I was like, oh my gosh, wait, what? This is great.
Yeah.
I could do this. And going back on the picture frame company, I did at 15, 16, 17, 18. Now starting this at 25, 26, 27, 28. I really am doing the same job I did 10 years ago, which is
Yeah.
crazy. We're
Yeah.
grabbing a product, we're making an item, and we're sending it to a store or or
Mm-hmm.
direct to consumer. And so Mary and Catherine said, I want to talk to you about wholesaling. And I said, okay, y'all call me. So they call me and I said, what do I do? And they were like, just bring like 12 hats to Atlanta Market these dates, 12 styles. We'll take orders. And when they sell, you ship them out of Alabama to their store. And I was like, okay, great. So I handcrafted my 12 little styles, and my little tags and receipts were like McDonald's receipts on the hat. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no branding. I had no tag in the hat. I had no idea. But I was coming, I was going, and I didn't care that I was underestimated. I was like, you know what? I am here just as much as they are here. We're gonna do this.
Mhm.
And Patricia, we sold them like crazy.
Oh my
Y'all.
gosh.
We sold those 12 hats. We still giggling about it today. I'll have a show in like a slow show. It's October. And I'm like, Miriam, can we do that again? What we did? It was new and the brand was so exciting, but we do so great. And that first show was exceptional.
Yes, totally. Now I know we touched on obviously the importance of being face to face with the customer, being in front of the customer. And I think something, watching you on social media, that you do very well is you do a ton of trunk shows. You're traveling constantly, popping up at different stores. So can you tell me about, the marketing perspective behind that, or like what that looks like for you?
That's tough. So yeah, you've seen my schedule, but that is really how I started my line,
Yeah.
my brand. I mean, who I am. Someone, DM'd me on Instagram and was like, hey, Do you want to pop up at this store? Do you want to pop up at this store on this day? Do you want to come see this store? And I was, of course, yes, 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 yes. Literally made my calendar look like a Christmas tree and I've just filled in everything. And I was like, all right, let's just do this for the rest of the year. And I would drive back to Lake Martin. And I had 2 employees at the time. So I would drive, they would have a huge stack ready. I was still doing some. Then I would drive to Buford, Georgia, and then back to Tupelo. And I was just driving everywhere. But it made me meet the customer, which is so important. And it made me so happy because I'm such a traveler. I already told y'all, I love to be on the sales floor. Like I could start and own Neiman's, but I want to be a sales clerk. Like I just want to be on the floor. I don't want to ring anyone up. I don't want to buy inventory. I don't want to pay the rent. I want to be on the floor, like a sales clerk in the shoe department. That's all I want to do. And that's what I love. So doing that, building my business and having more people that help me and work for me, I do have some behind the scenes people that keep it organized because I'm a little cuckoo. But I love being in person. It's harder now because we do ship like crazy.
Yeah.
But I still go. I mean, I'm still last week Atlanta 3 days in a row and then back to, I just love being with the customer. I love shopping. I love going to see my buyers.
Yeah. So speaking of customers then, who would be like your dream customer? If you could pick any celeb, royal or influencer or athlete or anything, who would be an absolute dream to wear your hat?
So this, of course, can be a bit controversial, but I love her so much and what she represents. But Melania Trump at the inauguration in the Navy hat, I can't get over it. I mean, I literally still have screenshots. I still send it to people. People will be like, what should I wear to this Christmas dinner? And I will screenshot that outfit and send it to them. Like that Navy hat. I think it was the inauguration.
I think so. Yeah.
It was the Navy hat and her Navy coat. And I literally, it actually made me fall in love with Navy. I went and bought Navy purses, Navy sweaters. Like I just started wearing a lot of Navy. And Melania Trump in one of my hats in Palm Beach, because
my gosh.
Hello.
Yes.
In Palm Beach at lunch, I would like die. Absolutely.
I think that's a great answer because she is such a hat woman. Like she does hats so well and she has the hair to support it, right?
The hair, she's got the face. And the funny thing about hats, it's not my best look. You either wear them or you don't.
Yes. Yeah.
I love my hats. Absolutely love them. But like, I personally don't think I am the rock star. Like some of my friends would be like, okay, I love you, AG, but get it off. But Melania, she just has I would die. I would so die.
Oh my gosh, we're putting it out there in the universe for her to get one.
She listens to the podcast.
Yes. Oh my gosh, totally. So, you've shared so many great tips about customer service, interacting with customers. Any other tips or resources you can share with listeners in terms of business or motivation? Like, is there a book you love, a podcast you love, a YouTube series, or maybe it's just like a tip or advice someone told you before?
Yes, actually. Resources other than myself is my friends do such, I have such a strong group of friends that I roll with. They do such a great job. They inspire me. They congratulate me. They help me. They network for me. They tell me what to do. They tell me to not post that. They tell me to do this. My group of friends make me more creative because even if they just invite me to Greece, going to Greece, you just get, which I haven't been to Greece, but you just going now when I create here and put it here for all of y'all to purchase, see, and consume. Going somewhere, traveling is so important. Go to Italy. Go have lunch by yourself. I catch myself taking random pictures of things that I might like the colorway, or I might like the shape, or I might like the way it was presented. So really just going about my life and traveling and doing this and going there is what where I get all this creativity from 100%. I make mood boards with my own photos. A lot of people go to
That's
Pinterest.
cool.
Oh no, I
Yeah.
have like 300,000 photos in my camera roll. I'm bad. And granted, I've never deleted a photo in my life, screenshots, everything. And I just go back through photos, like times when you're on a plane, down times where you can just go see what you just, almost like your own little private Instagram in your phone.
Yeah. Yep. No, your own little like coffee table book, right?
Yeah, I love that.
Yes. Yep. So I'm curious, since this is the Preppy podcast, I always ask everyone, what does Preppy mean to you? So how would you describe Preppy?
Preppy. Oh, I love the word preppy. Preppy just in so many different forms. And I love the name of your podcast. Preppy Podcast is so good. Preppy is, and I know this is such a traditional answer, but it's just chic. It's classy. It's Chanel. It's presented well. It's popped collar. It is just, and also I am preppy because I feel preppy, and feeling preppy makes me preppy because I'm put together. I have on a great little, I just feel good and preppy. I just feel classic. I feel chic, and I feel like I need to be on Bravo, but they haven't called me quite yet.
You definitely do. You'd be a star there. Now, I think you're so stylish and fabulous. So what are you currently like eyeing and buying, or is there like some brands that you love to style with your own hats?
Yes. So actually, that I met in the industry, my dear, dear, dear friend, Sarah, who you've had her on with Taylor Mercantile.
Oh, yeah.
I always pronounce it wrong, but her caftans and her gorgeous fabrics and gowns go so well with my hats. But a little sneak peek, Lindsay, who we talked about, Garland, she has done accessories, bags, and belts, as all of you know, for about, I want to say 20 years. For clothes, she's already pre-sold them at market, and they start shipping to a store near you in April. And her cute little poplins and clothes, and like it is almost like you would have thought I produced the clothes too, especially with my golf hats that everyone wears too, the mask. Her little clothes are going to be perfect for me.
Yes, I love that. The clothing collection is so cute. Like, I love the fish for summer that she did, and they're so, so good.
I sold that green dress like crazy at market. That long dress on the corner. Lindsay's like, I owe you. I'm like, no, you don't. So we sold that green dress like crazy. And when it comes out, everyone, for those listeners, get to a store and get it, please.
Yes, ASAP. So, then let's talk about any other sneak peeks or something else you're working on. I know you'll have a website coming out soon. That's so exciting. And then you have some hats to wear the Masters that we mentioned a little bit, right? Anything else?
So we're huge on our golf collection. We call it our Partee, Partee collection. Of course, it goes with Tipsy. And we call it our Partee collection. And everyone wears it to the big tournament in Augusta for the Masters in August. And that is huge for us. I mean, we're already preparing. We're actually sewing things right now that we know will ship come March for those. But new and exciting for me, Patricia, is I want to get out of patterns, which is our agave and our patterns. I want to get into novelty items. I love these bucket hats. I love the idea of putting a fish, a palm tree, 3 fun summery things, stitched pair of sandals, a beach ball, sunglasses, fun stitched summery things kind of on our bucket hats.
Cute.
And just your little novelty items on there, and it's not so zigzag and trim. And of course we can add the border for everyone that loves that, but just like this was like a little one bird bam mahjong that I just did for a friend too, and it was just like, it's just, I think that's going to be so fun. Just I don't know, little, almost like if you carry a purse and you have your 3 little fun summer charms,
Mhm.
you have those stitched on your head. You
Oh.
know what I mean? Like strawberry, pineapple, I don't know. And it's so custom. If you're a hairstylist, we can put a hair dryer on there. That is what's so fun with my brand. You name it, we can do it. I'm literally looking at an alligator right now for the floating gator. We can do it.
I think that's so fabulous. You get to put your own personality, your own spin on
It's
the
so
hats
good.
and make it
Any
custom.
color, any shade. We make the stencil. We hand make the stencil. We sketch it. We sew it, and it's just it's crazy because the options truly are endless. I stress my stores out at market because I'm like, oh no, you should get a monkey, and you should get this, and you should get that, and you should get this. And the show like HE from here to here. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry.
Hilarious. Okay, I don't know how I didn't ask this yet, but where does the name come from? How'd you come up with Tipsy Threads?
Tipsy Threads. So I actually didn't like it until a lot of people started liking my brand. But when I worked in Fairhope and I was teaching myself how to sew hats or trying as hard as possible, I would talk on the phone with my friend. And I was selling them just one on Venmo to a friend, texting my best friend's mom, seeing if she wanted it. And I was selling one every 3 or 4 days. And my friend said, that's amazing. You're selling these. You're $200, whatever. If you called it something, what would you call it? And I was like, well, I get off work, and I never rehearsed this. I just said it. I get off work and I go home and pour myself a glass of wine and I sit on the couch or drink a beer or sit out on the wharf with the dog and I have a drink and I sew. So probably like Tipsy Threads. And then when it was time to make the Instagram, I was like, just do Tipsy Threads. Like, it'll be fine. And I never would have thought it would have grown into what it is today, but I get more compliments on the name. People are like, we love the name. When the Instagram account had 800 followers, I didn't really like the name, but now I'm like, this is great.
Yes. It's fun and it's easy to remember.
You just kind of get tired of your own things.
Yeah.
But this is my first company, but it's not my last. So that's a fun little sneak peek.
Oh, okay.
I know.
So where can people find you? Where can they follow along? What's the website URL when it launches?
So I'm on Instagram and I post all the time. I even like to post business plus personal things, but it's at Tipsy Threads _ is our Instagram. And when our website launches, it is going to be www.shoptipsythreads.com. And it's going to be such a great website. I mean, it is going to be a little fun, little customizable things. Like it's taken a little bit to get built because you're going to be able to do some custom stuff on there and see some fun things.
Excellent. Okay. So thank you so much for being on the podcast today, AG. I absolutely enjoyed talking with you. You had me laughing, inspired, and now I need to get a hat.
Oh, absolutely. Text me your address because I will shoot you one in the mail, especially so you can share with all your fun, creative Instagram. I went in a rabbit hole on your Instagram the other day. I mean, I was like, okay, I need that outfit. I'm saving that link. And I need that outfit. My mom needs that cover up. But no, your Instagram is amazing. Your podcast is amazing. And don't thank me for coming on. I am so honored to finally be able to tell people that I was on the Preppy Podcast. And people are going to be super excited. A lot of my friends have come on here and done this. Sarah from Teelan, Michelle from House of MBR, and of course Lindsay.
Yes.
But I've actually never seen your podcast until Lindsay told me about it and was like, you should connect. And it was weird because then I pulled up my phone and I had an email from you and I was like, I'm going to be on the Preppy Podcast.
I love it. Well, seriously, thank you. This was such a joy.
Oh, you're the best, Patricia. Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to the Preppy Podcast. I hope this put a little prep in your step for the day. Please subscribe, rate, and review on wherever you listen to your podcast. And follow along with @the Preppy Podcast on social media.